Coming up on Discover Oklahoma, we're catching that Sooner spirit in Norman, giving football fans a great place to eat and doing a little fishing. Hi, and welcome to a special countdown to kickoff edition of Discover Oklahoma. I'm Jennifer Reynolds.
And I'm Dean O'Lally. Today we're coming to you from Sooner Legends in where else but Norman.
This is the place for Sooner faithful. There's a great down-home restaurant, a wonderful hotel, and there is OU memorabilia everywhere. Our Jeff Roberts takes us on a tour.
All right, all OU homers. It's a restaurant, it's a bar, it's a hotel, it's a museum. What is it? It's Sooner Legends. Let's find out exactly what it is.
We have some of the best steaks in all of Norman. They're absolutely fantastic. We also have ribs that are smoked on a 20-foot open hickory wood pit.
Oh man, speaking of those ribs, Jamie assures me they still serve all the barbecue classics that they've always been famous for.
And we've added the Mexican food. So now you can get fresh homemade Mexican food with our barbecue meats. So things like beef brisket enchiladas, pulled pork tacos, something a little bit different. You're having real high quality meat with enchiladas that are rolled to order, with taco shells that are fried to order, sauces made from scratch in-house.
Of course, one of the things you cannot overlook, the red velvet cake. Get a load of this.
Well, we are known for our crimson and cream red velvet cake.
Now, don't you wish you were here to share? So obviously this place is definitely a restaurant, but you know, I've heard the bar has a few trick plays of its own.
It's packed in here and the dance floor is going and it's loud and everyone's having fun. You can go walk through a set of doors and be in a completely different environment.
So after all the partying, you gotta have a place to stay. And man, is this the place.
I consider it almost a big bed and breakfast. You know, 136 rooms. We have 120 rooms, 16 suites, and every room is obviously named after a former OU coach, player, team, or sport. I have over 3,000 plus, it's probably a lot more than that, pieces of memorabilia up here in the hotel.
No way. Did he say over 3,000 pieces of memorabilia?
It's a museum. It's a tribute to the University of Oklahoma. It's a tribute to the great players of the past.
Oh, this is sweet. Every room you're gonna love, especially if you're an OU homer like me. Jamal Brown's suite is where we are. They got the memorabilia, they got the big screen TV. And yes, for us guys, ladies, you'll like it too, a man cave leather couch, awesome. So after the big game or your big day here in Norman, when you get to Sooner Legends custom-made beds, you're gonna be sleeping on cloud 9 is what they say. You know, I gotta give it a try for you. Make sure it's, you know, okay for you to come check out. I'm thinking cloud 11 actually. Now we're inside the J.C. Watts room, same memorabilia, same customized beds, impeccable. And for the younger viewers in the audience, if you wonder about that college education, you can go from this to this. Man, J.C., that is some serious hair. So the next time you're in Norman, you gotta check in at Sooner Legends. Did I get the Bradford suite? Yes.
In Norman, I'm Jeff Roberts.
No matter where you're headed in Oklahoma, there's bound to be a unique place for you to rest your head. To find one, just go to our website, travelok.com, and click on Hotels and Lodging right up there on the top bar. The food here at Sooner Legends is great. Fried chicken nights are popular, and folks are always lining up for their mouth-watering ribs.
But just a few miles southwest of here, there's a place where people travel from all over the state to try the Chicken Fried Steak Challenge.
It is huge. Can we just say that?
You better be ready to eat. Quinn Tran takes us to Kendalls in Noble.
Step inside this downtown Noble restaurant.
Y'all enjoy. Nice meeting you.
If it's lunchtime or dinner time, Tuesday through Saturday, Kendalls restaurant is packed.
We seat about 150 to 160 people. We can cram a few more in if we need to.
On this day for lunch, just about every booth, table and chair were taken by noon at the 6,500 square foot restaurant.
It's a lot of walking, a lot of steps from one end to the other.
Dee Downer and Kim Locke are owners of Kendalls. Kim's mother opened the restaurant 27 years ago, naming it after Kim's daughter, Kendall. Over the years, Kendall's restaurant has become a dining destination.
Enjoy.
Chicken fried steak, because it is the best thing that they have here. It's very good. And cinnamon rolls. You gotta have the cinnamon rolls.
You're gonna expect stuff like your grandmother would have made, you know, chicken fried steak, meatloaf, roast beef with mashed potatoes. We cook our green beans just exactly like your grandmother would have made them, you know, long and slow, and warm biscuits, and we have desserts every day, but we have our cinnamon rolls every single day with every single meal.
People from all over the world have visited the restaurant to get a taste of Oklahoma and to see the more than 500 hanging memorabilia featuring Oklahoma and its famous people.
We try and give people a history lesson just by, looking at the walls and, going, wow, they're from here and they're from here. Can't believe there's so many musicians that are from Oklahoma.
But what really wows people here is the food. Everything on the menu is made from scratch, and every meal comes with a free cinnamon roll.
We have people come from other countries, people, especially from OU, they'll always bring other people down because they say, this is Oklahoma food. This is Oklahoma. That makes us really proud to be known as that. My mom instilled this. We have a slogan that says, Kendalls is where everybody is family. We really do mean that. The relationships are as important to us as anything else, and I think that carries through. You gotta love it. You gotta love watching people grow up and grow old, and they grow with you, and it's special.
Besides the great hospitality, Kendalls Restaurant is also known for this, the Chicken Fry Challenge. Check it out. Eat all of this in 1 hour. Wow, the size of this chicken fried steak is bigger than me.
And we've had many people try it, thinking that that really doesn't look like very much on a picture. And then you set it down in front of them, they have a whole new respect for it. So
who's willing to eat this much?
Chicken fried steak has already been had.
Oh, good gravy. No, I can't eat that. I can't eat that much.
These regulars have the chicken fried steak sized up.
But this is what they call a light portion.
The couple prefer their gravy on the side.
I just like it that way. And another reason, we take some home for tonight, and you don't want the gravy sitting on top of the meat all afternoon. I mean, we've got it figured out to a fine art.
So have thousands of other regulars. The food at Kendalls is served up made to order. It's comfort food cooked from scratch, fixed the old-fashioned way.
We cook with a lot of love and a lot of butter. We only charge for the butter, though. The love is free.
You can find some of the best places to get chicken fried steak by checking out our website, travelok.com. Just search chicken fried and you'll find some of the best spots in the state.
Well, this time of year, a lot of Oklahomans love to focus on football.
But fishing comes in a close second.
It's quite the tourist destination. We like to say we have a blue ribbon paddlefish fishery here.
It's one of the craziest looking fish you could ever catch in Oklahoma. The story behind the paddlefish coming up.
Plus, we all know what they're hoping to do in Norman tonight. That's Oklahoma's legendary musician, Wanda Jackson. Coming up, the new website where you can explore all of the Sooner State's musical greats. We'll show you right here on Discover Oklahoma.
Working together with our community brings us a real sense of pride, but it's more than that.
It's giving us a unique advantage in covering the news of Tulsa. A clear picture of what's important in our city.
We're going out and meeting people, telling their stories, and helping out where we can. We invite you to get your local news from us, Tulsa's Channel 8.
Whether early morning or late tonight, internet or mobile devices will be there in the community to bring you the best in local news.
We're Tulsa's Channel 8.
When the wind comes sweeping down the plain and the waving wheat
sure smells sweet
when the wind comes right behind the rain. We know we belong to the land, and the land we belong to is grand. And when we say, we're only saying you're doing fine, Oklahoma, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, come see for yourself.
Welcome back to Discover Oklahoma as we count down to kickoff of the OU Tennessee game right here on Tulsa's Channel 8.
And right now we're coming to you from Sooner Legends in Norman. It's a fantastic place to relax before the game, after the game, actually just any time.
We don't have to tell you that in Oklahoma, football is legendary.
And so is fishing. And I got to tell you, unless you have caught a paddlefish, you don't know the essence of fishing. As we traveled up the Neosho River with the wind at our face and the roar of the boat, the excitement was building. My paddle fishing adventure was at hand. Compared to regular fishing, though, I know there are a lot of differences, yet the basics are the same. You need a reel, a rod, and a hook.
We are snagging today. We're not trying to get this fish to bite it. We're just trying to cast this out here, bring it over to body and snag the fish. So it's a little bit different.
So with an 8-foot rod, a big spinning reel, a 30-pound line, big treble hook, and a 3-ounce weight, I was ready to go.
And these fish will be coming up and down the river as they spawn this time of year. So we're just going to cast out there and make nice, smooth sweeps and try to catch a fish.
And try we did for several hours, but unfortunately it just wasn't meant to be today. Paddlefish average around 30 pounds, but can go up to 70 and 80 and higher. Even though there's low water this year, March, April, and May are the ideal times for catching them. And the perfect and best place to do so is northeastern Oklahoma.
It's quite the tourist destination. We like to say we have a blue ribbon paddlefish fishery here. So we attract people from all 50 states, including other countries. We do a survey where we've learned a lot of this, and if you look around at the boat ramps, you see lots of out-of-state anglers coming to Oklahoma to catch paddlefish.
Take, for instance, Andrew from Joplin, Missouri. He's been coming here for 20 years and loves the challenge of paddle fishing.
Sometimes you get a good one that fights really good, and then other ones, feels like basically like a log that you can feel them when you hook them and they, wiggle a little bit.
It's a heavy fish. It's tough to bring in. That's why we have such stout gear. But it's a good time. We see a lot of smiles out here when we're running up and down the river talking to anglers from out of state. And they're just happy. Even if they're not catching fish, they're happy to be here, so we appreciate it.
And here's something that anglers appreciate.
If they are lucky enough to hook a paddlefish, our boats, we call it the paddle ship, will come pick up that fish for them. They'll bring it to our research processing center.
The research center was created in 2008, and when the paddlefish arrived, the staff, much like a well-synchronized dance, kick into high gear. Once here, they tag the fish with a barcode, all the data is uploaded, the fish is weighed and measured, then once in the back, they begin the fillet process, rinse and package it for the angler to pick up later. If the fish has roe or eggs, they are removed and processed into caviar.
American paddlefish create a caviar that is similar tasting and can be bought at a much cheaper price. It's an inexpensive substitute for that beluga caviar. We've had several people that taste it say they like it just as well.
The initial time from having the eggs removed to packaged caviar is around 30 minutes. Now, this center is regulated by the FDA and the health department. They take great steps in keeping everything clean, so in the back you have to wear face masks, hairnets, and before entering, your shoes have to be sanitized. Now, the money from the caviar funds the research center and helps the wildlife department pay for other projects as well. And to have anglers come from all over to fish right here is a huge bonus, just like Bill Leffler from Nebraska.
It's the only spot I've ever snagged for spoonbill, and I'd say it's probably one of the best spots in the world. It's been real good. The processing center's a big plus because I don't have to clean the fish.
You can check out all of Oklahoma's rivers and lakes in our Oklahoma Outdoor Guide, and we're happy to send you one free right to your front door. Just ask us. Log on to our website, travelok.com, and click Request Free Brochures.
Alrighty, we obviously have football covered.
That we do, but before the game, after the game, there's always time for some sightseeing.
We have just under 14,000 weapons here in the museum.
Find out where to see one of the greatest gun collections in the Southwest coming up.
And we found the perfect pit stop for Sooner fans headed to Dallas in a few weeks.
We've had comments that it was the best lasagna they've ever eaten.
The place you can't miss in Ardmore, ahead on Discover Oklahoma.
All right, sports fans, it's game time at the Built Ford Tough Sales event. And when it comes to trucks, stats don't lie. F-150 with EcoBoost has smash-mouth power with efficiency. And with best-in-class payload, boom, F-150 hauls in the Hail Mary. And here's a stat, pal. F-Series has been America's truck for 37 straight years. And that's a dynasty, baby.
Get up to $8,750 total savings or 0% financing for 60 months on F-150 at your Oklahoma Ford dealer, the best in Oklahoma.
Trip to a theme park for a family of 4, around $4,000. Trip to a southern beach, around $2,300. Camping with your family any place you want to go this weekend, not even 10% of the cost of those other trips. Floyd's RV in Norman is a business born 45 years ago out of our family's passion for camping. Let us show you how inexpensive family fun can be. Here's an example. Right now, get a new Passport 2250 RV for just $189 a month. Floyd's RV in Norman, making family fun affordable.
Welcome back to Discover Oklahoma, coming to you from Sooner Legends in Norman. It is that time of year, and this is a great place to be. Restaurant, hotel, and museum.
Absolutely.
All kinds of sports memorabilia here for Sooner fans. Of course, football history is so rich here in our state.
It is indeed, and part of our state's history is actually preserved at a museum in Claremore. Jason Grubbs takes us to the J.M. Davis Arms and Historic Museum.
Every year, more than 30,000 people tour more than 40,000 square feet of history. This is the J.M. Davis Arms and Historical Museum in Claremore.
We have just under 14,000 weapons here in the museum, but we have 50,000 things on display.
This is the gun that started it all, a shotgun given to Mr. Davis by his father back in the 1890s. Next to it, the oldest firearm in the collection, a Chinese hand cannon, circa 1350.
There's no price tag on the collection. It's a priceless collection.
Executive Director Wayne McComb says Mr. Davis spent years collecting, displaying the guns and artifacts in his hotel. You'll see 6-shooters from the old Western days.
We have the Winchester 73s from the cowboy movies, and
guns, swords, and knives from Britain, Italy, and France, just to name a few.
Everywhere around the world.
Bonnie Parker, you know of Bonnie and Clyde? One of her guns is in here. So are 3 Colts belonging to bank robber Pretty Boy Floyd. Jesse James, he's got a pistol in here too. Famous weapons from outlaws and lawmen.
We have weapons from the very first academy in the Oklahoma Highway Patrol. One of those members was from Claremore. We also have the weapon from the very first black highway patrolman who was from Claremore in 1968.
There are thousands of weapons to look at and even more artifacts, like antique beer steins and music boxes.
And these are some very rare guitars, electric guitars, from the late 20s, early 30s.
You'll see original war and movie posters, horns and stuffed animals, saddles and spurs belonging to true Oklahoma cowboys.
The bigger the horn is, it's more of a working saddle.
Folks have been stopping in here since 1969 to see it all, including the final resting place of Mr. Davis, a man who said when he died, he wanted to be buried with his guns. In Claremore, I'm Jason Grubbs for Discover Oklahoma.
If you want to check out Claremore or any part of Route 66, just go to our website to plan your trip. We'll make it easy for you. TravelOK.com. Great places to eat, shop, and stay all right there.
All right, we're just minutes away from the Sooners taking the field in Norman.
You know who one of OU's biggest fans is?
Now, Red Solo Cup is the best receptacle for barbecues, tailgates, fairs, and festivals.
How can you find out all about Toby's roots in Oklahoma and take trips to the places he's made famous when we explore the Oklahoma Music Trail, coming up right here on Discover Oklahoma.
I can't believe how blessed I am to be working here in a city where people really love their teams, for a station that supports its community. I really do believe I have the best job in the world. I get to take viewers to some pretty awesome games, just like my dad did when I was a little kid. Yeah, for me, this isn't just a job, it's my dream.
Listen up, sports fans. If you drive a truck, you know it's all about stats. And at the Built Ford Tough Sales event, we've got the numbers right here. Ford Super Duty, best-in-class horsepower and max towing capacity. That's how you punch it right up the gut, pal. And here's another stat, folks. F-Series has been America's best-selling truck for 37 straight years. That's called a dynasty, baby.
During the Built Ford Tough Sales event, get up to $5,000 cash back on Super Duty at your Oklahoma Ford dealer, the best in Oklahoma.
Sweeping down the plain,
and the waving wheat can sure smell sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain.
Oklahoma every night, my honey lamb and I
Sit alone and talk,
and watch a hawk
making lazy circles in the sky. We know we belong
to the land,
and the land we belong to is grand. And when we say,
we're only saying you're doing fine. Oklahoma,
Oklahoma,
hey, Oklahoma, okay.
Oklahoma, come see for yourself.
You forgot the honey lamb.
Welcome back to Discover Oklahoma, coming to you from Sooner Legends in Norman. We talked about the hotel and the restaurant, but there's also a bar. I mean, what else do you need, Dino?
I'm all set to go, absolutely. And we're just moments away from the OU Tennessee game, which you can see right here on Tulsa's Channel 8. Needless to say, we Sooner fans are getting excited.
Pretty soon, all the Sooner fans are going to be headed down I-35, making the pilgrimage to Big D for the big game.
And Tina McGarry has the perfect place to stop for lunch in Ardmore.
You can call Ryan Matlack an artist, not just creator of delicious pizza, but the architect behind a dream.
I would like to think that we're building a name for ourselves.
After living on the East Coast, this native Oklahoman headed back home to Ardmore and started building his dream piece by piece.
I taught school for 15 years, and I love teaching. It was my calling for sure. But I've always wanted to open a restaurant. And my wife told me, she said, you know, I don't want you to turn 50 someday and be sad that you didn't try the restaurant.
And with that, Ryan and his wife opened 10 Star Pizza Kitchen right on Main Street in Ardmore. Everything here is made from scratch. Pizzas are hand-assembled, then cooked in gas-fired, stone-lined ovens.
Our crust is very unique. I make the dough every night. Our sauce is unique. I make the sauce every morning.
And it's delicious. I recently took my family to try it out. Bite after bite, as you can see, we all loved it. But it's much more than just a pizza kitchen. The menu boasts delicious salads, soups, desserts, all made from scratch, and a family secret. Ryan's mom makes lasagna. Homemade, cheesy, meaty, the very lasagna Ryan grew up eating.
We've had comments that it was the best lasagna they've ever eaten.
And another favorite, sweet, decadent homemade pies. Key lime, chocolate, coconut, also made with love, crafted by Mom.
It's not all milk, it's not all water, it's just the right ingredients. And I use real butter. When you eat pie, you're eating really good pie.
I mean, there's something to be said when your mother makes it. You know, it's made by a mother, a grandmother. So there's some kind of magic in that. I don't know what it is, but it's there.
Ryan says his best seller is the Old Blue, a pizza named after his dad. It's loaded with meats, piled with veggies and cheese.
It's basically all the meats and all the vegetables, you know, green olives, black olives, green onions, mushrooms, fresh basil, tomatoes, and then Italian sausage, pork sausage, pepperoni, hamburger, chicken, bacon.
Satisfying customers and himself, Ryan says he's living his dream, serving tasty food in a fun, family-friendly atmosphere.
And there's something to be said about having lunch in a building that's over 100 years old. You know, just bringing downtown back, because this is where it all started.
10 Star Pizza, one of my favorite pizza places on the planet. Hope you check it out. And a reminder that you can find great places to eat all over our state. Just request a copy of the Discover Oklahoma Dining Guide on our website, travelok.com. There's a place to click on Request Free Brochures.
And there's something else you'll want to check out on the website.
The Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department is proud to launch Rhythm and Roots, the Oklahoma Music Trail. A few strokes of the keyboard, a click of the mouse, and you've uncovered a treasure trove of Oklahoma music.
Dang me, ooh, they ought to dig a rope and hang me.
From our old favorites to those who've only hit the big scene in recent decades.
Carrie Underwood!
And everyone in between.
I came home last
Oklahoma's music history is rich and diverse.
I mean, I've lived here my whole life. If I haven't found the beauty in Oklahoma City by now, I'd be an idiot. It'd be me not seeing it. Of course it's here. You know.
Now, the opportunity to learn more about every musician who has called our great state home.
He was born Toby Keith Koval on a farm near the western Oklahoma town of Clinton on July 8, 1961. His parents, H.K. and Joan Koval, made a living working in the oil fields. By the age of 8, Toby learned to play guitar.
Photo archives allow users to browse through a virtual scrapbook of Oklahoma music history, from their early days to scenes straight from their album covers.
I wonder what it is about Oklahoma that's turned out so many musical people. It's mind-boggling to go through the history of music and the connection to Oklahoma.
The numbers are impressive. 43 inductees, 37 of the musicians, 6 venues, places like Cain's and Tulsa, all honored. There are more than 200 songs, most available for download, and 500 trivia questions about the artists.
Grew up in a town outside of Tulsa called Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
A comprehensive timeline takes you from songs written before Oklahoma was even a state to the most current music nods to this place we call home.
My mom found her way here from Arkansas. Dad was born in Oklahoma, and I was born in Oklahoma, so I know no other home.
But the best part is your chance to plan trips to see the places right here in Oklahoma that played a role in each star's life.
We were there on the corner of, I guess it would be Boston and Archer, right there, and so that's where we performed. And interestingly enough, now our office and whatnot is in the Brady district, and it continued to be kind of our stomping ground.
And those are easy to find as you click through the destinations on a huge map of Oklahoma.
We're proud to be in Oklahoma, Oklahomans, for more than one reason, of course. I just want to say thank you to everybody, and thank you, to Oklahoma, because when we go out in the world and we are the people who we are, it's because of Oklahoma, and we know that.
You can find the Rhythm and Roots section on the front page of our website, travelok.com.
And we leave you tonight with some Oklahoma music that we know will get all the Sooner fans fired up for the game.
I think it's a tune you may recognize by a group you've possibly heard of, the Pride of Oklahoma. And for all my fellow Cowboy fans, never fear, we'll get equal time a little bit later in the season.
Yes, indeed. So until next time, remember,
there's always something to discover in Oklahoma.
By the way, OU will cover the spread. They'll win by 3 touchdowns.
If Barry were here, he'd say, let's go put half $100. Our intrepid Ford Explorer is provided by the Oklahoma Ford Dealers, the official partner of the Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department.